All righty. Yes. I think I am live. I think we are live. Testing one, two. Mic check. I think we are live. If you can hear me, let me see a thumbs up. If I'm coming through clearly, let me see a thumbs up. Yep. All right. Perfect. All right. Hello. Greetings, everyone. What a wonderful, amazing, awesome day that we have here today. You are in for an amazing treat, a surprise, someone that I want to introduce everyone to, especially now coming on our second episode. That's right, our second episode for Stars in My Life series. I'm sure everyone who watched the first episode, um, right, with my mentor, Ron Howell, who was a great, awesome guest. Now, today, we have someone very special, actually from the same school, but from the general neck of the woods. This individual is someone that, let me just say like this: football, all my football glories, all my football accolades, everything that you ever see that had anything to do with football, if it wasn't for this individual, to be frank, you guys probably would have never have seen any of those moves out there. You guys probably would have never have seen any of those touchdowns that I've made. You guys probably will have never have seen any of even the field goal kicking that I did. So this is a special episode. It's going to the beginning of my athletic days, specifically when it comes to football. And my greatest, one of my most he's dear to me. He's like a brother, even though we're a very close family, but he's like a brother. I see him as a brother. I'm not even gonna try to introduce him because I feel like I'm going to undersell him and undervalue what he has done for me. But I'm gonna let you guys meet him. I'm gonna give you guys a treat so you can actually get to learn and know who he is. So pretty soon we about to bring him on, and I want you guys to just wait for a second. I want to also tell everyone of my Truth Reveal campaign. 18,000 followers. You guys are doing a great job. Uh, keep it up. I have a whole lot more content coming, especially for the subscribers. We have a lot of great new content, exclusive stuff coming. For all my Truth Reveal campaign, keep keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate you. Um, as actually, as Rasta would say, we appreciate love you. Yes, and for my super citizens out there, we love you guys. We love everyone. We will be dropping a very new episode. So just look out for that. It's a lot going on, but the episodes are coming. And also for my Palm J Warrior Fitness, all my audience, everyone on that channel. I'm sure you're watching this live there too. So get ready for this special individual. We are about to get started. Again, I'm not speaking about names. I am going to let them come on so you can see, especially for some of my friends who've gone to school with me, who in my high school days, this face may surprise a lot of y'all. If you guys are ready, without further ado, let me introduce to you all the mystery guest. Welcome, 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 welcome. Yes, if you all don't know, the mystery guest has now appeared, and I am going to let him introduce himself. But just know he is very special to me. Yes, Mr. Special Friend. This is the coolest thing ever in history. I'm getting to appreciate technology in this time, especially knowing we come from a time where this type of reality wasn't even possible. So thank you for joining us. Can you please introduce yourself to these people? Because I know you, bro. Just introduce these yourself to these people for me. Thank you.
Yeah, so Elio Harmon, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. Palm J, as you probably know him, JR, as I know him, or as his friends from back in the day. know him and refer to him as a dear brother of mine. We have a lot of history, and even though we don't live close anymore, when he reaches out to me by email and says, "Hey, I need you to come on the show," I'm going to show up for the show, and we got a good show for you guys, I think. So I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. Stick with us, man. He has some great questions. We're going to share some great memories, hopefully some laughs as well. So, Palm J, I appreciate you having me on the show, man.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Ilya, for being here. You, like I mentioned to everyone, um, you are not just to me someone special. You are someone who helped shaped literally um, my entire being. To be honest with you, when it comes to our development growing up, I say that because, as you know, when I first moved here from Liberia as a young man, I was what literally when I moved to from Ohio, I mean, from California, I moved to Ohio. I would think I was like, what, 12, 13, somewhere in that age range. And I think at the time, Elio and I were living in a similar area. If you can remember, Elio was, I think, Elaine, Sutton Square community. Um, yeah. And I believe I got to that area later. I moved and lived in a lot of several different areas in Southern Ohio, Masafa, Ohio, Columbus. But eventually met Elio when I lived in Sutton Square. It's a community in Columbus, Ohio called Sutton Square. And that community was no joke. I just want to ask Elio if you remember anything about that neighborhood and if you can share it with everybody.
Oh yeah, so Sutton Square, Elaine. I mean, back when we were there, it still felt like community though. You still had a lot of families living in that community. But to the point that you're making, you knew you weren't in the best neighborhood, right? You knew you weren't living in the suburbs. But when I go back down Elaine, it's changed and it has not changed for the better. It's no
Mm,
disrespect to the people and the families who live in communities like that. I never want to take shots at communities and say, things are not, because that's where people live, right? That's where people are raising their
absolutely.
families. But it's just my experience because even when we were there, I didn't feel like every day I felt unsafe or something. But you still knew you weren't in the best neighborhood in the world, so you were going to have to deal with all the things that come into play when you're living into a middle class, lower middle class neighborhood. And so if you're a boy living growing up in that neighborhood, one of the things that's going to be required of you is you're going to have to be tough, right? And I think it's just one of those areas that we lived in. But there were families all over. You could
Yeah.
walk all throughout Sutton Square, and the way the apartments are set up, they're set up in rows.
Mhm.
So every row, everywhere you turn a corner, you might have in an apartment of like 8 apartments in a row, you might have one of your friends that you go to school with in one of those apartments. So we had kids in Sutton Square, I believe, going to Walnut Ridge, maybe one or two going to Eastmore. But it was just one of those communities where if you lived there, you knew people there. And if you knew people there, you probably knew somebody who lived in your community that went to school with you. So that's how JR and I got to know each other and then ended up going to school together.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can recall, we actually lived in the back of each other. Like I lived like at one area and you lived like back here. And I would literally leave my back door and go to your place to go play, get on the sticks, or just go hang out or what have you. But we were such, like you were saying, such a close-knit community that we were all family, one big family. I remember like literally walking to school with a lot of the guys, a lot of the girls. So we were all walking together just to go to our school. So
Hmm.
it was that type of community. At the same time, it was also a very uh, intense community where a lot of young, wayward youth, uh, such as myself and many others, were around that were falling victim to a lot of the ills, the social ills that was happening around that time, especially if he's a young man, falling victim to the penitentiary, falling victim to police brutality. That was not different back then. That was still going on. It was still going on. The only difference is now we have what you call cameras now, right? Everybody have the camera. Everybody can show what's happening, but it does happen. Um, However, there is one incident that I think shaped all of our lives, specifically mine. But before we get into that, I want to make I want them to wait. They have to wait for that one. We're gonna get into that.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait. That's commercial. They know how
Stick
to do their
around. Stick
job. Just
around.
stick around. That's right. But before we get into that part, which is why everybody is going to be tuning to this eventually, is let's talk about football, because you see me over here, and I have one of the most coveted individual, in my opinion, that ever played this position. I'm gonna turn around real quick, and I'm sure you already know who jersey this is, right?
I can't see the number because of your hair.
Oh, come. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I feel you. Okay, you see it so now.
Oh, Sanders, is that an Oklahoma State jersey?
Okay, you already know. So look, I'm about to show my show. Let me know if you can see the name of the
Yeah,
back.
that's a Barry Sanders Oklahoma State jersey
You see
for
it?
sure. Yeah,
You can see
100.
it, right?
Yeah.
All right, all right. So I did. I'm doing this because I have put on a protest. So for every single interview that I will be hosting from now on, especially for my stars in my life series, this is going to be my uniform, and it's not going to come off until I meet Mr. Sanders. And you're hearing this
Mm.
right here, Mr. Sanders. I have to meet you. So hopefully, watching this is authentic jersey, by the way. It's the real deal. I almost got into some real problems with other people who are from other parts of this state that like the other team just over this guy. So, Mr. Sanders, if you're around in my area, Black Wall Street, I need to meet you. That's just a message, public service announcement. But yeah, I'm not getting rid of this jersey until I at least off my back on here until he signs it,
Oh
and so
yeah,
I meet him.
that's a legendary jersey.
Oh, for life, for life,
Legendary jersey.
for
Yeah.
life. You know how long I got this, bro? By the way, you know how long I had this jersey?
Mm-mm.
Let's try 2005.
Okay. Yeah. So and it's an authentic game jersey, right?
Oh man, this thing is by itself right now without even Barry's, John Hancock on it. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been keeping it for a long time. So
That's awesome.
great segue into going into that time machine back into the day.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about football. How did I even, because you're the one who actually was playing football and I was playing soccer, if my memory serves me right, right?
That's right. That's right.
Now, did I meet you at Ridge playing football, or did you meet me on Ridge soccer team, or was it we met like obviously through the neighborhood, like you watched me playing soccer, I watched you playing football? How did that happen? I'm still trying to recollect that.
Well, I don't because you talking about something that happened 20
I
plus
know,
years
30
ago.
over 30 years ago. I'm
Yeah.
brains, yeah.
But I know really when I started to maybe the conversation about you playing football came up is when you got into weightlifting. So you were playing soccer, but then you were also wrestling, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly. But as part of just your focus on your fitness, you started to do weightlifting, like professional bodybuilding, right? And
Mm.
for me, you were just a natural bodybuilder. You know how some guys just have genetics that lend well to being a bodybuilder, right? Now I
Yeah,
know you worked hard, and I know
yeah.
you ate and you were disciplined, and you had the right conditioning, the right routine that you need to really build that kind of physique of a bodybuilder.
Hmm.
But that's when I really started to see you less of as a soccer player and more as a potentially like a somebody who could join the football team and help us out.
Mm.
Because one of the
Wow.
things at Walnut Ridge is that you didn't have a ton of kids going out for football.
Mm-mm. No.
Usually you had very, very small squads. So football on average, you want to have a roster of 60 plus, right?
Yeah.
The more the merrier. So you can have
Hmm.
teams at various levels so you can actually develop players. So you want to have enough players to field offense and a defense of freshmen,
Hmm.
an offense and a defense of JV, and then an offense and a defense of varsity. So ideally you want 60 plus players. It was not out of the norm that Walnut Ridge would have 40 players.
Mm.
So no real JV team, no real freshman team. So there's no real player development happening at Walnut Ridge. So we needed all the players. So basically, the players on the team had to become scouts, right? You had to go out and find people at the school who would be able to join the team and help us out. So when you started weightlifting, I saw
Mm,
you start to develop, right? I'm like,
okay.
oh yeah, you know, he could put some pads on and he could help us out. So I think that's really when I
So
started to
you really
see.
recruited me.
I mean, in hindsight, I did. I didn't
Wow.
see it. I didn't see it as me recruiting you, right? But
Yeah.
what I started to gain an appreciation for is all of the disciplines that it takes to be a bodybuilder, also the disciplines it takes to develop as a football player. Right.
Mm.
So I thought that was just going to be a natural transition for you, and the wrestling, right? The conditioning
Yeah.
from
Man,
wrestling, it
I forgot I
translates
wrestled.
to you forgot you wrestle, yeah. So yeah, the conditioning from wrestling translates to
Yeah.
football as well.
That's true. Man.
Hmm.
Wow, that was really profound. Thank you for man. So that means you actually are the architect. You are the official architect. You literally set this whole thing up. Because if it wasn't for you, like you said, like literally showing me about football, recruit me over there, I wouldn't know nothing about it. Because I already coming from where I come from, playing soccer. That's all we care about is football. We call it football, back home. So the fact that that's all I care about. But when I saw another Liberian, that's when, that's when I said, "Oh, we can do that."
It's
Oh,
possible, and you brought over skills that were immediately needed.
mm,
So even if you didn't know how to play offense or defense, you're a good kicker, right? So immediately you came in and you had a role where you could help the team, right? Because we didn't have much of a kicking game, and so
facts.
without like learning everything about football, you can still put points on the board, right? And so that gave you kind of, in my opinion, and I want to know what you think about this. It gave you an
Mhm.
immediate role.
Facts.
And when you're coming into something new and you immediately have a role, it's going to make you want to stick with it longer.
Facts.
Now, when you first start playing football and you get on a team with like 60 plus players and all of them have been playing since they were in little league together,
Man,
and
good
you
luck.
and they just using you as basically a dummy. Hey, hold this bag right here. Let me go ahead and run into you full steam, right? Have you
Yeah.
have you be the tackling dummy. A lot of people quit football because of that, especially if they're
Facts.
new to the sport. So I think that worked out well for you.
Man, you hit it right on. You hit it right on. The reason why I know that is real is because I actually have a community through school. People can visit it through my website, the palmjayeveryday.com website. But I have a school community where I teach young folks who are actually in high school, who are actually sitting on the bench, who actually want to play varsity sports. And I teach them, one of the core tenet that I teach them is, number one, besides being coachable, because you got to be coachable, right? Because in order for you or anybody out there to even teach me or tell me anything, I had to be coachable. But I had to tell them one of the most invaluable thing any coaches look for in a player is a player flexibility, able to play any and everywhere that teams need it. What would you say about that, E?
Oh yeah, versatility. Now you you want to be versatile, right? And you want to add value however you can. So there's so many days. Football is one of those sports where it needs every kind of skill,
Hmm.
right? Even if it's just somebody who really is like knows the game up here and might
Hmm.
not be as skillful to the game, right? You need every single skill. Most people think football is like a super physical game. It is because you're blocking and you're tackling and you're running and you're catching the ball, right? That's the
Yeah,
physical aspect. But you got to be a smart player too,
facts.
right? To protect yourself, to protect other guys on your team, to kind of see what the offensive tendencies are. So that versatility comes in a lot of different forms. Yeah, you need to
Hmm.
be able, if you can, to play
Yeah,
multiple positions, but you just need to find out where you can help the team, right? Where
absolutely.
you can help the team. So sometimes that's leadership skills. there's guys who are trash, but man, if you put them on a 1 mile run, they'll be in front of the 1 mile run, pushing everybody to catch them, right? Because they just they can run long distance. So if that's the
Facts.
person's only skill
Yeah,
that they add to the team, just
it's still
pushing
valuable.
people and conditioning and always winning every single 100-yard
Yes.
shuttle
Mhm.
or winning every single bear crawl because they just condition like that, it's going to make the team better. So you
Facts.
need versatility on the field, but versatility and personalities in and around the program that add and value in different ways.
Man, that wow, hey, you got me wondering, like, are you a coach right now? What do you do, man? Because with the way you just broke that down was just so analytical. Like, are you a coach, bro? Are you coaching right now in the league? What are you doing, bro? That's some serious breakdown, bro. I hope they paid attention. Somebody got to hire this guy.
Yeah. But coaching is something that you got to be dedicated to, right? Because like you
Mhm.
said, you coach players who want to play. And that's such a coaches are so important. I think
Mhm.
sometimes they get underappreciated for how valuable they are in helping people achieve whatever their goals might be. So it's great that
Yeah,
you're in coaching right now, man, and helping people win.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was something that I felt like I had to do. It's like if I can't get to where I ultimately want to go, which was the league and make that kind of money, let me at least train someone else who could potentially get there,
Hmm.
and make that kind of money and help someone else. But I had to do it, man. So I have a young one and two of them, and I eventually, when they're ready, that information, the reason why I'm doing it is so when they're ready for it, it can be ready for them.
For
They
sure.
say, build it and they will come, and I'm just building. Whether people are watching or not, trust they're gonna come around, because right now on one of my channels, I got over like 50 something monthly thousand, 50 something thousand just watching. I'm like, wow, people are really watching it. They might not show you, but they're watching. So you got to keep showing up and keep doing what you got to do. So
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
for
So
sure.
yeah. So that is I think we give the people enough football talk. Let's give them some live talk now. So we're
Damn, no, no, no
gonna.
game. No, we're not going to talk about any games,
Oh man, if we talk
any
about
big
game, we're
moments
gonna
on
be
the
here
field.
all. We're gonna be here all day. But
Okay,
give me a big game. Give me a game. No, no. Actually, let me give you something. I remember that.
okay,
Now let me tell you this. Now, for those who are watching who played with us back in that time, or against us or what have you. Now, this dude E was. I mean, you played all the position. We're gonna get into that, but you played all the position, bro. I
yeah,
mean,
it was too
that's how
much,
I,
man. I
yeah,
shouldn't have been
that's how
playing no
I
more.
got everything you did. I was trying to mimic it. You did play all the position, bro. You did.
Yeah,
You were that dude. If anybody want to deny, they can come see me, okay? Because I was there in real life. I was there. And you hit this one dude so hard, bro. I will never forget that day. And we way past that, but I still think about it, bro, because that woke me up and said, "Hey, boy, now if
yeah,
I'm gonna play the game, I want to play it like that dude." Because
hmm,
with the way that when I saw what happened, that guy didn't want to come back on the field, and I said, "That's if I'm gonna play defense, that's what I want to deliver." And then you get back on offense, and you're the quarterback running a touchdown, throwing a touchdown, bro. I mean, you were the Michael Vick kind of dude back then, like for real, for real. You were that dude. And I think it was the same era. I think that time frame Michael Vick was out. That same
yeah. I
kid.
think he
I
was
used
at
to say you
Virginia
look like
Tech.
Vick. Yeah.
He was at
Well, like
Virginia
you,
Tech, I think, at the time,
yeah.
1999,
Yeah,
1998. Yeah,
yeah,
98.
that
Yeah,
was the age.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and you were that guy. You were, man. In my opinion, you were great, bro. But what game? What game for you? It was. I think for me, that game was. I think it was Watkins Memorial.
Oh
I think
yeah,
if
I
I
think it
think you
was
hit that
Watkins
guy so
Memorial.
hard. I think it was like something like that. He hit him so hard, man. I said, "Jeez." I
Yeah,
said, "Man, if that guy get
and I
up,
didn't
he
even hit him all the. I pulled because
no,
you know
you
how
stood
like
up."
sometimes yeah when you sometimes like I probably shouldn't hit this dude like with all my strength. Like I didn't want to hurt because he wasn't looking.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
wasn't looking, and like
yeah.
unless you're a really dirty football player, you're not really gonna try to injure a guy who can't see you
No,
coming, right?
no,
Because
no,
if
not
you
that.
hit,
You know,
yeah,
nah.
that's
Don't be that
that's when
guy.
people,
Don't be
yeah,
that
don't.
guy.
it's still a sport, right? And
Yes.
that's still a person at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So even though, like you described, I hit him and you were like, "Oh my god, he really hit him." I probably hit him at about like 60% of what I could have hit him
Mm,
because he didn't see me.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? So the goodness in my heart didn't allow me to really hit that man 100% because I don't think he would have. Yeah,
Woo,
he
we
would have
were
just.
there. Yeah,
They would,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
they
that
would
was
have brought
good
an
for
ambulance
him.
out.
That was
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
him
it
then.
was good for him. The fact that you said he walked off the field is proof that somebody who wasn't looking and I ran
Yeah.
into him full speed, I didn't hit him with 100%. He wouldn't have come back.
I still feel it for that bro, man. But I do. Hey, RIP to his body at that time, but he
Yeah,
moved on, so it's all good.
he
But it's a
bounced
great
back. He was
segue.
young.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. E.
No, he bounced back. He was young.
Oh
He
yeah.
he
Oh
could he
yeah.
could take hits like that.
I agree. And I just wanted to now segue into what the crowd has been ultimately waiting for, which is the story of the story, the mean story, the story. Now this story is the story for me that ultimately I think changed my life, and it could have gone, the trajectory could have gone a whole different direction.
Oh yeah.
And he was there, he witnessed it, and he was actually one of those individuals. And every day I think about it, I'm like, man, what if that could have gone a different way? Would I even be here right now? Would I even be able to be having a family, having a queen? Would I even have that opportunity to live? Nope. I'll probably be behind somebody's bars or someone's grave or something because
Mhm.
I knew it wouldn't have stopped,
Mhm.
but yeah, there was an ultimate brawl when I was younger. A major, uh, I was a freshman in high school. Uh, it was, you could say, it was like a legend, urban legend, because to this day, even some of my younger, cousins, and they always, I'm like, man, that's a long time ago. But no, bro, but you, bro, no. I'm like, it's all good. But I had to also recognize, like, man, they remember something that happened such a long time ago. So it must have impacted them in some way, shape, or form. So I have
Correct.
to speak on that. And for the next generation, because it's not for our generation, because our generation was there, especially those of us who actually was involved in that day. But there was something more important about that day, and this is ultimately what we're going to get into. So I want to ask E specifically, because people remember the freshman brawl. Like I said, it was like some kind of a legend, right? Like an urban legend, right? At the same time, what they don't understand, in my opinion, it actually came from something bigger, and something deeper. They had no clue, and what that was me watching other people get bullied. I can't stand it. I couldn't stand it. I don't. That is not something that sits well with me, and I can tell you why. I'm originally from West Point, Liberia. If anyone haven't checked it out already, like I said, go and get on your Google Maps or what have you. Check it out. That area where I'm from in Liberia is not an area. Even folks that I know, folks in say some of the hardest, most rough areas will want to even go there in the daytime. Let me just say it like that. So I am from a very serious place that not a lot of people expect me to be here. And that's what makes this even more special. So I don't take no uh nonsense. Let's just say that. So at that age, a person thought they can bully me, and I didn't like that. So I had to do something about it. So it wasn't just, oh, I'm just mad, I'm angry. Yeah, maybe some of that had a lot, but also I'm not a person who take bully. That's why I actually am the person who speak louder than a lot of people within my circle. And that's why I even have Truth Reveal campaign. Hence, I'm about truth and justice. And I'm gonna find a way to get it because we all who feel have been unjust, we are going to get our justice. Been done unjustly, we are going to get our justice. You cannot give up. You got to keep
Mhm.
fighting, and that's the kind of energy and it's kind of the spirit I come with from the old school, the generation that came before us, my ancestors. So I take it seriously when somebody is being bullied in front of me. It's not going to happen. That's just not the guy. But anyway, let's continue. So when because that particular chapter in my life, like I said, it could have ended everything. But E was there; he witnessed everything. So E,
Mhm.
we're gonna go there. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna put you up, and we're gonna go there. So I want to know, like, what you felt like before the fight ever happened, right? What would you say? What was going on in that environment in general that people don't see? Who would just hear, "Oh, this guy got in a fight," but yeah, what was going on in that environment?
Yeah,
What
there
would you
was a
say?
lot. There was a lot going on in that environment. Like, I think at the time it was you, me, and Eric.
Mhm.
We used to spend a whole lot of time together.
Man, you got good memory.
Yeah, me, you, and Eric. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah,
As he
R.I.P.
passed away,
Yeah,
and
rest in power, my man.
we were rappers,
TRS, right?
something like that. I don't even remember, right? But I remember we were rappers, right? So we used to rap, right? And I still love, I kick a freestyle every once in a while, but I'm not a, like I think of myself as a rapper anymore. But
I
and
got you.
I don't think we were all like trying to be real, like make it. But I think
You
he came
never
from
know.
Texas. Eric
No,
came from
Eric
Texas.
was real. Eric had
Now
that
Eric
flow.
was really about his rap career.
Facts.
For me, I don't know for you if I don't want to speak for you, but I
Mhm.
just loved
No,
the creative part of being, putting rhymes together and
I agree. I agree.
creating
But you
music
were
and just
still
having
good
fun.
though. I still like when you went on that mic, you did your thing, and I appreciate
Right.
it because we weren't wasting our time. We even though, like you said, we weren't trying to be like the professionals. We still was not wasting time. We came in there with, you can't, if you sound whack, we gonna tell you sound whack. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's how we came. Yeah.
And so I think in addition to me, Eric was there that day too, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
because we were always together, right? And this is just my recollection, so you'll have to fill in some of the gaps for me.
Yeah.
But I think it was the summertime. I think were we out of
No, you
school or we were
you
in
right.
school?
You right.
It was in the
You right.
summertime, right? So I think
Mm-hmm.
we were out of school. So that's the first problem. We couldn't do nothing
Hey,
better than
and
that.
the summertime is killing season. It's not out
Right.
this. That's a good enough reason, right?
Yeah. And we
that
rapping,
that's what
rap
50 said. That 50
right,
said that. I didn't say that. That was 50, just by the way. That ain't me.
right. And we got our crew, man. So, we rapping and all of that. You already in that mind state. You full of testosterone. It's the summertime. There's nothing better going on. But if
Facts.
I remember it correctly, this individual right here, it had been an issue. I don't know exactly how it started, but I'm not gonna name any names because we were kids at the time.
I'll
So
name names. I don't have a problem.
oh well, okay, that's on you, but
Yeah, well, yeah. Mhm.
I'm not gonna name any names of this other person, right?
I got you. I got you.
And so I think that whatever it was, I don't remember, and you'll have to remind me of
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
how it all started, right?
Mhm.
But I think this particular day, you were just sick of it. Right, like it was that day was nobody was gonna talk you out of it. You were gonna find this person, and it was gonna be on, right? So I
Yeah.
think we walked down Elaine, and if I remember correctly, it happened was it at the store?
Man, it happened like three different spots, man. At the park.
Okay,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but I just remember for some reason my recollection of it was it was like by the Wendy's on Livingston,
Yep.
right?
That was one of the spots. Yep.
Okay,
Hmm. When he took a
so.
break, a smoke break. It's still
Oh my
funny.
god.
That's over
Yeah,
20,
it's
30
still
years ago.
funny because you were just so serious about
Man,
putting an end to this, right?
man.
And so I think basically you washed it, right? You washed it. There was no coming back, right? And you could tell it was the classic. It's like it was all an act. It was all
Mhm.
a act. It wasn't real because when
Yeah.
the confrontation happened, there wasn't anything behind it. And he
Yeah.
just got washed, right? He got
Yeah.
washed. Now,
Thanks.
at the time, you know, part of maybe what created that persona was that he was affiliated with some guys who were really about that life, right?
Facts.
Really, really about that life. So
Facts.
I think he was embarrassed because it wasn't just a one on one. Maybe it
Mm.
just been you and him, it wouldn't have escalated, and we didn't even know the level to which it
Mm,
was about to escalate. You know how like you never quite know when your life is gonna change, right?
mm.
It was one of for me as I remember this is just me putting bits and pieces together when you told me what we were going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
So I distinctly remember, okay, after it happened, you know, people gonna laugh at you if you get washed and all of that stuff. So we left, right? And I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
where he went or what happened.
Mhm.
I just know we walked back down Lane,
Mm.
and then we stopped at this apartment complex, which was like halfway down Lane between like the Livingston and Sutton
Yep. We
Square.
got
So Sutton
we.
Square is all the way
Yep.
down in the
Yep.
cul-de-sac, right?
Yep.
Sutton Square is the end of Lane.
Yeah.
So we walk halfway down, and you know, there's these apartment complexes, and like the sign outside of
Yeah.
the apartment complex was like a
Yeah.
little 3 foot little stand, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Am I remembering
No,
this
no,
right?
no. You right on. Right on. Everything you saying. You right on. Your memory is real good.
Okay, thank you. But I don't
Mhm.
remember like the park, like the multiple, you know, situations. I just remember the one at the store. Very like that's my
Yeah.
recollection.
That's a vivid one. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I
So
definitely I got it.
if I'm making anything up, please
No,
let
no,
me
you
know
good.
because this is like 23 years ago, right? And it's something I haven't thought about a lot,
Yeah. It's
right?
a long
So I'm
time.
just piecing it together from my memory. So we stopped
Yeah.
at the apartment complex. We're all just chilling, right? We're laughing. You know,
Yeah.
somebody, you just watch somebody get beat up, basically, right? So we're laughing, we're talking about it. And I remember, this is just what I remember. A car comes speeding down Lane,
Mm-hmm.
right? I think it was a
Mm-hmm.
convertible. Am I right?
Yeah.
Was it a
They,
convertible?
they were sticking their head out.
Okay, just sticking the head
Yeah,
out,
they
right?
with guns. Yeah. Yeah, with
Correct.
guns. Yeah. I think that's where you're
So
going.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that's where I'm going. But I don't know if it was multiple guns or it was just the
It was
older dude.
multiple, and they had.
Okay.
I mean, they had the little clip extended. I mean, they were getting it down back then. I'm gonna tell you, those they. If you say it's gotten worse, I want to know what they got bazookas now.
Well, I mean, just the whole neighborhood, like the buildings and stuff, disrepair. Nobody's
Yeah,
investing or in Elaine right now. So
that's too long of a time to still see the same reality.
it is the same reality, man. At least the last time I was there, which was probably like 2 years ago.
Mm,
But it yeah. So,
mm.
but yeah, I remember. Right now, you
Hmm,
remember
hmm.
multiple guns.
Yeah, I remember multiple.
I remember the older dude
Hmm.
was the one who like parked the car
Mm.
and stood up, like not all the way out the car,
Yeah.
right? But like stood. This is what I remember. Like he
Mm.
stood up, and so my reaction, I don't know where everybody was standing, but we were all standing in and around the little
Yeah. The little area.
the little brick
Brick. Yeah, little
sign where
brick thing.
the
Yeah, I know
name of
exactly what you're talking
the
about. Yep.
apartment complex was.
Man, you got good memory. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, so I jumped down like off the
Hmm.
brick thing because my plan was okay, if they start shooting, I'ma
Hmm.
just duck behind this little brick thing
Yes.
because I was
Facts.
sitting on the brick thing. But I think like I mean we didn't have we weren't going anywhere. If they really
Nah.
wanted to do it, there was
Oh
no
yeah,
way
we
to
would have
go.
all been gone. That would have been
Yeah,
our last days. Yeah, easily.
it was gonna be over with. But
Yeah,
that is what I remember, right? And he said something. It was like some kind of threat, like something, doing
yeah,
something to somebody.
yeah.
But I think the person who had gotten washed went and told, his boys, and that they had to spin the block and just make sure. But I think they really, I think when they saw who had done that to them,
They like what?
yeah, they recognized that we weren't the kind of people
Yeah,
that
like
you have
yep.
to shoot over what just happened. Like, you know what I'm
Facts,
saying?
man. There you go. E. You just hit it on the head.
And that's one thing I can say I respect about that situation, thinking about it, because some people are just crash outs, right? They don't
Yeah,
care.
just
But I
local.
think he like saw the
He,
situation. He
yeah,
was
he thought
like,
about it.
yeah, this ain't that.
Yeah,
This ain't
they ain't
somebody.
threatening.
Correct. Maybe the way he explained it to them made them feel like they needed to come back around the
Yeah,
corner with all of that. But when they saw us, they realized, oh, Man, these just some high school kids. You probably just lost a fight, right? This
That's
is
it.
these are not guys that pulled out weapons on you and we're gonna threaten to take your life. So that's my recollection of the situation. But it could have gone left.
It got a man.
Yeah.
Man, Eve, thank you for that, man. Oh man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. You brought so much things, so much vivid imagination in my mind, like I was living in that moment. But you see, like you just speaking about that in general just made me think about the individual, the person you said that made that ultimate decision. Because to me, that person, I look at that person like the what you call shifter, right?
Mm,
That
mm,
person literally took a whole trajectory that could have just been done right there and rewrote it. I'm
mm-hmm.
just, some people can't, it's gonna go over some people, but I know there's people who follow, who are always watching, who know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm talking to those people. That person is a shifter. He changed the whole trajectory of what could have gone wrong single-handedly. That's the kind of person personally I like to meet. These are the people, if they still around, I would like to say, hey, I would just like to know, what were you thinking back then? What just, I would like to know what's going in your mind. What give us the thought that you felt like, hey, this guy is not worth me going to jail for, because you're still gonna go to jail if you take me out and the rest of everybody else out, you're gonna go, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the fact that you thought about it, you at that moment, that very moment where you could have ended every single one of those people, you thought about it, you said, know what? It's not even worth it. This guy don't even look like he did anything to this guy. This other guy, he's just complaining because he got beat by this little freshman. I was a freshman, wasn't I? E?
You were young.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
freshman. It was finishing the freshman year. It was like we're finishing our what you call finals and stuff. But I want to go quickly, quickly gloss over this and we can move on. But the
Yeah.
overall reason for this whole incident, it could have been easily voided by this individual, just being respectful, but unfortunately high school is a very good playground to learn a lot of things. You can learn
Right.
so much. It's a place you will learn it all, everything in life that you need to learn. You will learn it there, okay,
But
everything, and if you can
but
master it, yes.
so the situation, it was never really spoken about again though.
Yeah, never. This
So
is the first time since it happened, you and me sitting here
yeah,
talking this.
but everybody involved, even at school after that,
Yes,
nobody really even talked about it because it was so final. It was like
yes,
everything that needed to be said, done, handled, and which is what I appreciate, even though the
yeah.
person involved kind of did some things leading up to it.
Mhm.
There was no kind of that lingering tension after that happened, even though what happened was really serious.
It was very serious. Yes,
Even
yeah.
though what happened was really serious. So, to your point, to the shifter out there, appreciate you shifting the
That's why we
situation,
here. Think
right?
about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
appreciate you shifting the situation. To the person involved, I mean, like you said, high school is about learning lessons, learning that lesson and just letting it go. Because some people
Yeah,
are not going to let it. They're going to make it this ongoing thing, and now we could have had
yeah.
multiple incidents follow us
Facts,
throughout our
facts.
high school
Whole
lives.
life.
Yeah. So just man, God is good.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And that's what I was gonna like basically attest to. I give you real testimony, no lie. And then, as you know, I've written a book. I'm in currently raising funds to have it developmentally like put the way I want it to be, professionally sound, everything, so it can be out there for the world to read. But this information is in the book, and I'm gonna talk about it with you right here. But that individual, and I'll say his name because we had closure. We actually did. Some people don't believe in closure. I hear them, and I respect you. However, I do, and I tell you quickly what happened. E. So Larry was the individual's name, and this situation, I can't remember the guy's last name, but he and I both, literally, I just finished graduating high school. This is all in the book. I literally was on my way to Cali, just about to head out there to play football and everything. And I was working at Kohl's at that time. And I will never forget this. I get on the bus to leave work. I'm just finishing work. I'm heading home. I get on a bus, that Livingstone bus, that 89. I think I remember. Is it 89? If I remember that, my brain is good. Yeah, I think it's 89 because I used to get on that bus all the time, man. I used to take the bus a lot. But anyway, um, I got on that bus, and right when I was getting off, getting on, and I was about to go sit down, I hear a voice saying, JR. I'm like, huh? I'm just real life, bro. There's some movies like that. That's why people was telling me what they were telling, bro. You need to write a book, bro. This is a movie. This is gonna be on. This is. I couldn't believe when it was happening. And my man said, JR. I'm like, well, there's nobody that knows me by that name like that. The only
Mm-hmm.
people that knows me are the people who really deal with me. Those are people who really rock
Grew up
with
with
me.
you, yeah.
Yeah, you grew up with me, and I looked because I was just like, let me just look, and guess who was sitting right there?
It
Larry,
was.
bro. It was him. He's like,
So it
yo,
meant to happen.
it was mad, bro. That you said God is good. The Almighty is good.
Mm-hmm.
Good because he admitted himself. He said, "Listen, bro, in real life, he's another person I would like to speak with. That's down the road, but because he told me, he said, "Oh man, and I remember this like it was yesterday. He said, man, he literally apologized. I'm sorry, man. What I did back then. He apologized, bro. I was so floored. I couldn't believe. I said, this is made. This is literally movie type stuff. This is not real. People will not believe this, but it really happened. And to him, I'm speaking about this because I'm trying to teach a lot of our generations that it's okay to have disputes. We are going to have disputes. That's part of life. But it's not okay to take a life. It's not okay. Obviously, if you have to do what you have to do, you have to do it if it's self defense. But to just go and do it because you're mad, you're angry, take time and think about it. You can always come back and apologize. So for that individual, knowing that he did what he did and he was able to apologize, that's big. That in for me, I forgave him. So if anybody think, oh, something that happened so many years ago, this guy haven't forgiven that guy, man, let me tell you, I forgive that guy right before I get to California. Because had he not met me and said that to me, I would have never known. But that was my closure. That was my closure. When he actually said to me, hey, I was wrong. I'm sorry. And sometimes that's all we need to hear. That's all we need to hear. So thank you, Larry. I appreciate you. Appreciate love you, like Rastas will say. And hopefully you watching this, you want to come on, you're more than welcome. This is Truth Reveal campaign. I'm all about truth. I don't have time. I'm from the older generation. We all about telling the truth.
And
The
he
real
gonna be like,
truth.
nah, y'all remembered that all wrong. So I can't wait to watch this episode because that's how I remember. He's probably gonna be like, nah, that's not true. So, well, I'll watch that episode. But that's what I remember, man.
Yeah, but history, people can revise it however they want, but the real true people who've been there, who know how it went, they will always attest and prove those who want to remake and revise history the way they want it. They're gonna prove them wrong every time because
But
we
that's
have
that's being a
receipts.
man, and
Yeah,
I'm very very proud of him that he had the strength and the maturity to be able to do that. So big shout out to him.
absolutely. Perfect segue. We're gonna continue because I love that. So from your perspective, E, because I value and I've always valued, and I know when you say stuff, you have very good intentions. So from your perspective, do you think that was about ego? Or was it really about standing up against bullying?
That I think that was is it, I don't think it was ego. I don't think ego is the right word because I think ego has the connotation of you were only doing it because you had something to prove. I don't think you were trying to prove anything to anybody. I felt like you were just angry, man, and you just wanted to put an end to it.
Yeah.
I don't think you care what I thought about what you were about to do or what anybody thought about what you were had to do. If you did, then we could have possibly talked you out of it. But you weren't. Nobody was going to be able to talk you out of it on that particular day. It was going to happen, right? Because you were mad and you just wanted to put a stop to it. So I wouldn't classify it as ego. I think you felt like it was absolutely necessary for you to put an end to it. And that's exactly what happened. You put an end to it.
Thank you. I couldn't agree with you more. I agree 100%.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll move to the next question. We're gonna rapid fire and just keep going through because these are
Okay.
all, nice and quick. We gave everyone some good explanation on a lot of things, and now I want them to really get the true reason why this is so important. And I know we're gonna deliver it to them. So let's continue. Why do you think so many people, right, in general, saw what was happening but chose not to step in? I mean, because if you remember on that day, it was a lot of people, and there's one situation I remember. One of the guy, I guess he wanted to jump in, and he was like, "Yo, if you step in, it's on." I don't know if you remember that, but there was a lot of people. So, would you think because it was a rule that was set, or what you think happened with all those people there?
I think everybody realized that it needed to just be a fair,
Mm,
just be fair, right? And because, like I said, it wasn't the stakes weren't that high. It was just
mm,
somebody who was just obviously doing something wrong to somebody else, right? It wasn't like somebody had done something to somebody's family member. I mean, the stakes weren't that high. You know that you can have varying degrees of a confrontation. I
So
mhm.
yes, I'm sorry, E. I'm gonna
No, you
put a
good. You
pin
good.
in it. Put a pin, stick a pin in it. We're gonna get right to that. But I really want to say this because probably this is probably what I didn't communicate to everybody at that time that didn't know, and this is part of the stuff that's in the book. It was at a very high stake.
Oh, okay.
The
What
stake was
made it?
very high. That's the only way you would get me out of my shell because I was through my whole year. I would not bother nobody. I don't care. Like you, I'll laugh it off, whatever. But the real reason, let me tell everybody, nobody know. I'm giving so much information, but they're gonna have to get the book eventually. But what really happened deep down was it was number one disrespect, like an ultimate disrespect. The fact that I'm gonna take something that belongs to you and do whatever I want to do with it. You can't do nothing about it, no matter what you say. That's not happening for me. I don't care who you are. That's just not me. It's not, and that's what happened. Another thing that happened was the thing they took wasn't mine. It wasn't mine. It was my in my time at the time. My father, the way I know my father, he wasn't playing with me. Okay, I was one of them young boys who was ready to go at it with their own fathers because I was just that high energy. But I know he would take me out in a second.
Hmm.
That's just an African
Yeah,
Liberian
your pops
dad.
was
You
in
ain't.
shape. Your
Oh
pops was in
yeah,
shape.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. African
Yeah.
Liberian dad. You ain't. I don't care how big and strong you are. They will be before you, so
Hmm.
they gonna stay before you. But anyway, um, I was able to what let this individual know you cannot do this because number one, what you just did was you put me in a messed up position. Now my dad gonna think number one, I took his stuff and then I didn't return it. So guess what I gotta do to you? I gotta do this to you, bro, because I can't go home and everything is okay. I gotta go home feeling messed up. Like, what happened to you? Yeah, you don't know what just happened. I had to try to get your camera. But
Yeah, the stakes between you and him were high, but I'm saying the
yes,
stakes for everybody else who were
wasn't
like
high.
correct, meaning we recognize that it was important to let y'all have this moment.
Mm, I
You see what
got
I'm
you.
saying? Because it
Yeah,
wouldn't have been resolved. Because then the next thing would have been like, oh no, it wasn't
I
a
like
fair
that.
one, right? Or oh
Hmm.
no, it was a whole bunch of people that jumped. That's why this happened. So
Okay.
that's just my perception. I might
No,
be
no,
wrong,
I
but
get
that's
what you're
just what I'm
saying.
thinking.
I get what
The
you're going. I
stakes were
like
high
that.
for you, which is why you
Yeah,
needed to handle it that day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, real quickly, what you just said was perfect. It was real true. Um, I agree, and I just want to add this little caveat real quickly. It was basically it was what's so great about this episode is because this very thing that I'm talking about is highlighting what's happening right now. Because the thing that he took from me, because people want to argue, oh, you haven't been doing content creation. I was like, yo, I've been doing this thing from the beginning. YouTube, I've been doing this thing from the beginning. Facebook, I've been doing this thing from the beginning. Any other platform that so-called been doing it. 1997. I was in Warner Ridge High School with my dad's camcorder, and I was recording our last day of our exams. And I saw some beautiful girls when I was younger, and I wanted to remember them.
Mhm.
because I know by the time we were in senior, we're all gonna look different. And I wanted to have that just for my own good. That's just who I
Mhm.
am. I've always been this dude. So for all those internet folks, y'all doing great. Keep doing great. I've always been doing this. It's gonna come. I'm not rushing it. But I just want to make that record straight. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. I'm not new to this game. Just letting everyone know. All right. I'm just glad you're trying to come along and starting to see the value that it's having, which is great. I love you for that. But we're gonna even get even further. Just imagine when we get back to Africa. Just imagine that. But that's the future. Just imagine when we get to West Point. You'll never seen that before. But when I go off that plane and I land and you guys see that water and that beautiful Africa, Liberia, oh, y'all gonna love it. But that's the future. I want y'all to think about that. Anyway, E, see what I
Mhm.
do? You see what I do to my people, man? I give them the past, I give them the present, and I give them the future because
Mhm.
that's what I feel life is about. Okay, let's continue. Let's get into this. So now, I want to know from your voice, what kind of person do you see me as far as back then, and when it comes to protecting others, what how do you see me, or did you see me as that kind of person when it comes to protecting others? How did you see me?
Yeah, I think you're a principled person. So I won't necessarily put it in the context of protecting others, but
Mm,
what I respect most about you is when you say you believe something, you believe that thing. So because you're that type of person, it's no surprise that that translates to other areas of your life.
mm,
So, like for example, when I think this started when you started going to OSU,
mm.
and it might have started sooner. I don't know when you started reading, but as you started to get into history,
Yeah. Speak on it.
and
Speak on
after,
it, bro.
so I'm a fly on the wall, right? So a lot of the perspectives I'm able to provide to you is pre Palm J, is
Yeah.
Jr. We just talked
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
and then I'm talking about Palm J now, right? So I watched
Yeah.
you go from Jr. to Palm J, right?
Mm.
Which is, and this is when you were going through some of your immigration stuff, and it was a very stressful time for you, but
Facts.
you were going to school and you started to get into the books, right, and reading and research and history, and then a new kind of evolution was happening, right,
Hmm.
and sometimes people can have evolutions that are just fads or trends or whatever is the hot thing to be at the moment.
Hmm.
The thing about you is that once you decided, okay, I've read the books, I found the truth, my truth, the truth,
Yes.
I'm now going to live by this truth, right? That tells
Yes.
me everything I need to know about you. So whatsoever you decide in your life is your truth, you're going to
Hmm.
live by that. So
Damn.
to your point about, oh, do I think you, my perception, that's the perception that I in my opinion really matters, which is
Mm.
he's not doing anything that's the trend or whatever. Whatever you see with Palm J is his core belief, right? And that is what he puts out into the world, what his core belief is.
Man, appreciate love that. I want my folks to know and hear that. That was real. Like my queen would say, "You read that. You read that." I laughed too. 'Cause I was like, "What? No, no, no. He read that. Okay, he read that." No, that was great, man. I appreciate love that. Wow. And I have to agree with you, and because I know myself too, and I love when I have these conversations with individuals who actually know me well, or I can say have known me for consistently what over, like I said, 30 years, 20 something years, 25, whatever many years, and you can go and say, man, you still the same guy, you still principal, you still whatever, but you still the same core value person, the person I remember, and I appreciate. I really really love to know that I kept it consistent. That's all I've ever wanted to do. I'm not perfect. I'm not sitting here to announce to the world that oh, Palm J is perfect. No, Palm J's gone through evolutionary phases. Okay, I've gone from the rude boy, the Guanapi King phase. I've gone from just being on what I was on a I was in what was I in? I was in a cult. I was. Yeah, Christian Clark when I was younger. Yeah, I've been through a lot, man. But like I said, it's all in the book. I've been through a lot, bro. And like you said, and that's why I love the fact that you know me well enough to like say, and even another person know me well. He would tell me like, you just going there, you going through there just to go through there. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna reflect. I was like, damn, you guys really know me, don't y'all? And because I'm a human being who I see myself as a natural anthropologist. I like to go and learn and live in different places and learn life, man. Because I think just being me where I'm from is great, but I don't think it's all. It's like more to life than just me, you know. So that's how I approach life. So thank you for that. Like I said, I wouldn't disagree. But let's continue. You're doing a
Okay.
great job. Thank you for that. The next question we're gonna go down. I want to know: do you ever feel like I was willing to go too far to stop something I felt was wrong? Like,
No, I think it's kind of the same question,
okay,
right?
okay, okay.
I
I
think
just
it's a
want to
very
make sure.
yeah,
Okay,
it's a
okay. You
it's
got it.
a
You caught it.
it's a value system question.
Mhm.
I don't know about too far because I don't you don't strike me as an irrational person, right?
Never.
I think you use the term too far, it's
Mhm.
somebody who is not considering the consequences.
Facts.
Right. So
Facts.
you strike me as somebody who's a reasoned person who will,
Yes.
before they take an action, consider the consequences. So I never really think of it as too far. I'm never the guy who's like, oh, if I go somewhere with Palm J, he's going to end up getting us both in trouble.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that clarification. Yes. Thank you.
You see what I'm saying?
No, that's
That's
great.
somebody
Yeah.
who will take it too far.
Yeah, yeah, and I got folks I know like that, so
Right.
I know what you mean. Yo, yeah, appreciate.
Right.
I'm glad you said that. That's good to know. I know I'm not like that either. At least, like you said, I always consider all the factors, I consider every situation before I feel like it's my last resort. I try not to panic. I read this book by Tony Robbins. I think it was called Unbreakable. I think it was his book, but it was just about in general, just about this whole reality of don't panic.
Hmm.
Like when September, what was that situation happened? That the not the COVID situation. Number one issue that had a lot of people stuck outside of all the other craziness was the immune system. The fact that people was just already scared before it even happened. So if you're scared, you're panicking. What happens is you become vulnerable to more illnesses, no more problems. Your immune system is not strong enough to handle what is going on. So if you are in control of your stress levels, your cortisol levels, all right, then guess what? You may have a chance. But if you're not in control of them, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be vulnerable. All right. Free radicals will attack you and they will destabilize you. So that's a fact. So it's important to stay in control,
Hmm. For sure.
to not panic. And panicking is what happens with a lot of folks. And that's what a lot of us, unfortunately, the ones who are behind, if you ask them what happened, it was they just had to feel like they got to do something immediately. And that immediate action, guess what? Guess where it got them, unfortunately. And it
Hmm.
can get any one of us there if we're not wise enough to know that we cannot just emotionally react. We have to think about it. But anyway, thank you for that. You were right on. I appreciate. I love that. Okay, we're doing good. What's going down? All right. So now I'm at a place where I want to know. At the time, right? You were leading at when all this was happening, and as when we went from freshman sophomore, because I think when I was a freshman you were a junior, if I can believe correctly.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so I only had I think a year to play with you, a year or two to play with you, right?
I
A
think we
year or
only
two.
played together 1 year. I think
One
we
year.
only played together 1 year, one
1 year.
full
Okay.
season. Yeah,
One full
I think it was
season.
a 1988, 1988, 1998 season. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we only played 1 year, yeah. So you didn't even get to like enjoy watching what you started, like your seed that you planted, because you literally, and that's what I was so upset. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, damn, he never got to see me like do my thing after when I was a senior, man. So talk about that, bro. Because you were in
There was a
Wittenberg at the time.
bunch.
You were in Wittenberg doing your thing. You were
Yeah.
doing your thing in Wittenberg.
There were so many players I felt so sick that I didn't get to either play with, or
Mm.
I wasn't back home during the football season where I could see them actually play. So you playing both defensive tackle and running back, right? I mean, you play defensive tackle when you played with me, but I never saw you play running back, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Who else? Ernie Wheelwright.
Will,
I
right?
ne-
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I never got to see Ernie Wheelwright play
yeah.
wide
Or
receiver.
even Michael Jones, Mike Jones,
Yeah,
Mike.
Mike Jones. I
Yeah,
never saw Mike
those
play
guys. Yeah,
wide receiver.
yeah,
What's the
yeah.
kid, the running back? I
Which one?
can't think
Gary
of his name.
Russell? Was it Gary
Yeah, I
Russell,
never
the young
saw
dude?
Gary.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
never
never
saw
got the
Gary
chance to see
Russell
him
play.
either. Yeah, I
So
never got a chance to
there are
see
a
him.
couple of players that were like freshman, sophomore, junior when I was
Mm.
in my senior season. I would have loved to watch play football.
Hmm.
But I didn't get that chance. So I really didn't see you play running. Now I saw the highlight tape, which is legendary. Breaking long runs, breaking tackles, running people
Yeah,
over.
yeah.
So yeah, I've seen the highlight tape. So
Okay.
yeah,
So yeah, let's get that straight.
that
I
is a
visit.
great senior highlight tape.
I appreciate. Yeah, love that. Thanks for that, man. Thanks for that. Wow. Okay. Cool. So you, even though you didn't get to see in person, you still were able to acknowledge what happened through the highlights. So that's good to know.
Oh yeah.
That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So it's not like you don't know, or you don't know nothing of what happened after you left.
Oh
So
no,
that's
I
good.
know.
Okay.
I
Well,
know you. I know you went off.
were people? How did you know? Were people telling you about it? How did you find out? Like,
No,
I'm
you
just
showed
curious.
me the highlight tape.
Yeah.
I saw what you did, man.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. So I showed it to you. I didn't wait. I was like, nah, I'm about to show it to him. He
Oh
gonna
no,
see
I
this.
saw. I watched the highlight tape, man. It
Yeah,
was a legendary senior highlight tape for sure.
that's what's up. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So I represented. So you planted the seed, and I made sure that I germinated it right.
Oh yeah, you went off.
That's it.
Yep, you went off.
Okay. All right. So I did my part. As long as I know I paid my debt back in full. I hope that I paid my debt in full.
100%.
All right, cool. All right, cool. So we can go on. All right. Perfect. All right. So now I have a question for you in general. What do you see in me, or what did you see in me in general that you feel like I belonged in that space? Like, I know you mentioned it, but if you can
Yeah.
sum it up to one word, what would you say that this dude belong here? He's just part of this, you know.
Whatever you do, you're gonna be good at it.
Mhm,
Right. So like you got into the books, you found a field of study that you love and you excelled.
mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
You got into bodybuilding, you found something that you loved, you excelled. So it just people are just patterns, man. People, you after a while you just know somebody's pattern. And I just figured
Mhm,
that you were going to be good at this because you'd been good at other things that you put your mind to.
mhm. Yeah. Thanks for that, man. I would agree with that. I always give my all, no matter what I'm doing. That's just my personality. That's just how I was raised. That's just how I was groomed. My father always reminds me. He said, even if you got the job that you hate the worst, and you work in that job, working like it's the only job you will ever have, and working with dignity and working with respect and pride. And that's just how I do it, man. Even if it's not the most desirable thing, you always give it your all. Because guess what? You never know when someone's gonna be in that position for the you to tell your story and encourage them and inspire them. So that's what I do. What I do. But thank you for that, man.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna continue. So, do you realize, or did you realize, the time that where you were playing football, you influenced me? Did you have any clue that you influenced me?
No, like when you told me, or maybe even the title of this podcast, I didn't even realize it. Right?
Mm,
I didn't even see it that way.
mm,
So the fact that you're saying these things to me now, and then leading up into the podcast was the first time I even considered that I might have been, you might have viewed it that way. I had no idea.
mm. Wow. Well, um, I mean, I guess I always try to, but I guess we were also, like you said, we're also in different states, in different places. So the times that I may have tried, it didn't work, or communication or something has cut off. But we are at a state where we call what the information age. We're in the Aquarius age. So there's no excuse anymore. We have technology. And that's why I said to myself, let me take this technology that we have, let me find a way we can still connect, even though we haven't connected in such a long time. Let us
Mhm.
connect and reminisce about what what we mean to each other. You know, what value we brought to each other. Because at the end of the day, we have to look at what's currently happening in this world and look at. I've kind of feel I ain't even kind of say kind of the world feel like it's falling apart. It's literally, I remember the old days, the olden time days, like we would say, the old school old man that used to say, it'll be an end of days, end of days. I always like, what y'all talking about, bro? What y'all mean? And I really truly be feeling like, yeah, this is what they'll talk about.
Yeah. As you get older, you realize, oh my gosh, things are not what they used to be.
Yes, yes, too much. I mean, it's like everyone is losing it. I was like, is this the ism? Is this the Trumpism? That's what I want. Like, is this the ism? Because the way this is, it's like the whole world's losing it, man. Right now, South Africa losing it. They going after people from West Africa, people like me and you, for what? Like, those are the things. That's why when I listen to the old people, old school, like they said, this is the end of days. I'm like, damn, this is probably what they meant. I never want to pay attention to that, but now I really deep down, I commune with them. I commune with the ancestors a lot. E. I do that because, you know, I wouldn't be here without them either. I recognize the scene, the people we do see, the things we see that helps, but I also recognize the ones we don't see.
Mm.
They're unseen. And I think those are the ones we skip a lot because they know they ain't just gone. My mother passed. A couple of years ago during the COVID situation, I still grieve. It ain't no ending to grieving. But how do
Hmm.
you keep them in your life? You find ways to connect with them. So I always connect with them. I'm always communing with them. Anytime I go and be by my lonesome, I'm communing with them. And that's why I feel like they keep carrying me because I'm here. I'm still here. All the things you witnessed, you heard, you saw. We were even in Atlanta together at one point. I've been
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's right.
And people, when I tell them about immigration stuff, they just like, man, this is not this is don't you for real. I was like, you don't know. You don't understand the reality of a person who's an immigrant, who's living underground, who have to figure things out, who can't work, who can't do the basic things, and then still survive, still find ways to show up in the system and canvas for for people that you can't even vote. So this is not a easy journey, but it's a journey that's worth having because guess what? I'm the evidence to show that you don't give up. You keep going. Yes, it's going to be hard. It is hard, but you keep going. Because guess what? I'm talking to the person who helped me to keep going. And that's one of the best rewards in life to be able to tell this individual what he meant to me.
Hmm.
That ultimately is better than anything in life, bro. To
Oh
be able to
yeah, for
smile
sure.
and say, bro, you know what you did to me, bro. You know what you helped me with. When you really like, you say hindsight 2020 kind of thing. When you're looking back and you seeing like, damn, if this individual was in my life, that individual, man, who would I be? What would I be? Would I even be the guy or the person I am today?
Hmm.
So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you, my man.
Appreciate it,
So
man. Appreciate it.
I thank you, bro. So I just want you to know we almost there. We almost there. We just got a couple more
Okay.
left. Yeah, I just want to finish up, man. So let's continue. We are at remember we were teammates, right? Remember when we were teammates?
Hmm.
Um, I don't think you were just a teammate for me. I think it was you were someone who you were the captain, right? Because you were the team captain. People
Right.
don't know that. Those who play with you know that you're the guy. You probably don't know that, but I'm telling you from the guy who don't know that. I'm telling you the dude. Like, I'm gonna be
Right.
honest with you. Let me tell you like this. When I used to be in the classrooms, and I'm an old man, so I certain things I don't remember, but certain things I'm like I can't forget. And this is one thing I never forget. I'm in a classroom. I think it was like 10th grade, 11th grade, 10th grade, one of them grades, probably 10th grade. Man, the teacher said like I was in my Spanish class. I was in Spanish 2 or something like that, Spanish 3. And I think you did Spanish up to Spanish 3, right? You did
Yeah,
1,
yeah,
2,
yeah.
and 3, right? Because you
Yeah.
remember the teacher that taught you, she was my teacher too. I
Yeah.
can't remember her name.
Oh my God, I can't remember that lady's name, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I can remember
yeah,
the classroom, like exactly what part of the
yeah.
school it's in. Yeah, I know exactly.
Man, my man. You know me and you both like very minute. Listen, the woman love your bidding, man. Every time the woman would say all kind of things, I would always be I was like, oh, that man, not that man like that. Okay, I gotta figure out how to get love too. Because everything like I was like, whoa, okay. You set a precedent in that school, E, that I was afraid to mess up, bro. I'm serious. You was one of those intellectual giants, bro. You were not coming when you came. Let me say it like this: if you remember back in the day, because back in the day we were into like Wu-Tang Clan. And
Oh yeah,
remember that
heavy.
one song that came out, and that's how I looked at you. I looked at you like Capitan, like one of those like professors. Like you was just up there. You was way above us. Let me just be frank when it comes to just the intellectual. Like you were just on a whole different level. And man, you used to like get on that mic and just say things. I'm like, this dude remind me of like Wu-Tang Clan.
Hmm.
So you had a serious influence on us, man.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
So as the captain,
Listen, I didn't even know that. Yeah, I
bruh,
appreciate it.
those because people ain't honest with themselves, bruh. I ain't
Mm.
one of those people. I'm open and honest with myself, bruh. I've learned to appreciate love those who showed me the way, even though I didn't know what the way was back then. And I'm not afraid to say I didn't know what the way was because I didn't, but I know now. And it was because of people like you. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm giving you a flower, man. So thank you for that. Let's continue, man.
Hmm.
How do you how do you approach just in general, like when it comes to the fact that you play multiple positions? Because I look at you like people used to talk about Travis, what was it, Hunter? Was
Hunter.
it Travis? Yeah, they would just say, oh, Travis Hunter. I said, listen, bro, I went to school with folks. I was one of them folks who we used to play all the positions and we were good. Okay.
Hmm.
And we had, like you said, on our team, we had 20 people, and football is supposed to have at least 60. We only had 20. We had to play all the positions, and we were dominating. So when you were playing, right, when you played like multiple positions, you played quarterback, defensive back, you were the captain. What drove that? What was that coming from, Brett? Because I always want to, what got you so like motivated, inspired to do what you were doing on the field and just doing what you had to do?
Well, first I was having fun. Right.
Mm.
I was having fun playing football, just having a good time. That's number one. Number two, the positions I played were like critical for were basically like coaches on the field.
Mm.
So on offense, clearly the quarterback, right? So you got the
Yeah.
ball in your hands all the time, and we ran when I was a quarterback because I wasn't like a passer of the ball. I
Hmm.
was more
Hmm.
we ran an option
Ran.
offense.
Yeah.
So you had to be you had to orchestrate
Hmm.
and get the defense looking where they're not supposed to be looking, right? So
Mm.
that was a whole lot of fun because you get to play this cerebral game as well. It's not just about being physically more dominant than the other team, is using
Hmm.
misdirection, is getting your
Hmm.
eyes looking in the wrong place, and then giving people an opportunity to make plays. So
Hmm.
when I played quarterback and ran the option, I don't know how many yards rushing I had. I'm like
Oh man. And did it take stats back then, by the way? Because I always used to wonder, did they really take stats back then?
they did, but I can't really find any stats going
That
back to Walter
sucks.
Ridge from 1998. But I probably had like 700 yards rushing or
You
something
had
like that at
ridiculous, bro.
quarterback.
You had a
Yeah.
lot.
And then Ensign had
Oh,
like
I remember Instant.
900 yards rushing at fullback.
Geez.
And then both Keith Mitchell
Ooh, I remember Keith. Keith was a
and
man, he
yeah,
was
and
raw.
then Brandon Reeves, they both
I remember
had
Brandon.
like I think Keith had like
Brandon was raw
1,200
too.
yards rushing.
Damn.
Brandon had like maybe another 500 yards rushing. So across the four of us
He had
running
like four
that
or five
option,
thousand, huh?
we had like maybe a solid
Damn.
3,000 yards plus rushing, right? Like
Damn.
it was like mid three because we never threw the ball. We didn't have to
Yeah.
because people really couldn't stop the
They
run,
couldn't stop the run. Yeah.
right? They really couldn't stop the run, and that's the way you wear down defenses, right? You got them out there all day
Yep.
chasing the wrong person, tackling the wrong dude. No, he doesn't have the ball. This guy has the ball. No, he doesn't have the ball. He just pitched it, and then
Hmm.
somebody's off to the races, right? So that's the thing. I just had a whole lot of fun, and then everybody
That's what's
around
up.
me was making plays. On the
Mm,
defense, I played safety,
mm.
and so safety,
That's right.
you're the last line of defense, right?
That's
So
right.
you need to keep the whole game in front of you, the
That's right.
whole game, the whole offense. Nothing can get behind you.
That's right.
So from that vantage point, you can really see what the offense is trying to do and help your guys get lined up. So that was the other thing. So it wasn't just about, and then you get a 7 yard head start to hit somebody.
Mm. A lot of running start. A lot of running
Right.
start. Yeah.
So it's not like linebacker where you could get like Gordon Lindsay
I
used to
remember
get a lot of
Gordon.
big hits at
It's another
linebacker,
dog.
but he
Hmm.
only had like 4 or 5 yards to get his
Mm.
speed up. I was coming from
Yeah, a long
12,
distance. Yeah, like a nice little. Yeah.
13 yards. Oh,
Oh
this is
yeah.
sweep. And I get
Yeah.
13-yard head start to run full speed at you. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
It's over.
playing safety
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. Playing safety was a lot of fun.
That's what's up. Okay, I love that answer. Thanks for that. Okay. Now,
Yeah, like you at defensive tackle, you got like 3, 4 steps before you run into somebody.
I know.
You don't
I
have a
know.
running start,
At
right? So
all.
yeah.
And just yeah, please highlight that, like how strong one has to actually be to really be. Because people like, "Bro, I was the smallest dude out there, but I was going against giants, man. Against giants. How strong do you have to be on that line, even at the high school level, to play against some of these big boys? And I know they're probably way bigger than they were back then, but back then we had some big dudes too.
Yeah, you were strong and you from the wrestling background, you had leverage. You
Mm,
had leverage, so you could play lower than they could play. A lot of big dudes really don't have that bend, so you had an
mm,
advantage because you could duck under their blocks, right?
mm,
And you were quick enough off the line that you probably were beating them as soon as the ball is snapped. You already had them out of position. So and then plus you're weightlifter, so you could hold your own in the trenches. But um, yeah, you also balled out at on D line too. So
mm.
you were a valuable two-way player for us.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I was so glad to get the opportunity, though. I'm not going to lie to you, to play for running back because I always coveted it primarily because of the guy jersey I'm wearing.
Yeah,
Barry Sanders, because I felt like, because like you mentioned, some of the guys, all the guys you mentioned were big dudes. Keith Mitchell, he's a big dude. Instant, that's a big dude. These are all big dudes. Then you come to a
Instant
guy
in
like
high
me.
school was 6 foot, 250 pounds. Are you trying to? I'm not trying to tackle him, man.
Nobody gonna tackle him, man.
Yeah, he's like Jerome Bettis.
Yeah,
Like
that was
nobody
our
trying to
bus.
tackle
That was
Ensign.
our bus. Ensign, shout out to Ensign, man. I be wondering what's up
Ensign
with Ensign.
Newman was nobody to mess with, man.
Man, Ensign was that dude, man. And man, I think he went, was it All City, All State, something like that? He got some awards
Yeah,
because that year he
that
tore
whole
it up.
backfield,
Yeah,
was
everybody,
like
yeah,
all city.
tore it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So man, that's I love that you said that, man. Thank you for that. It was really important to hear. All right, so let's continue. Now, do you think like football gave me a different outlet for that? The same kind of intensity I have off the field? Like, do you think it was a good place for me when I ended up finding it? Given the history that coming from the Civil War and having that reality, do you think football was a good fit because of that background?
Oh yeah, I think so, and it's an opportunity to get the aggression out.
Mm.
Every Friday you got to
Yep.
beat somebody up.
That was a
Every
great feeling.
every Friday I get to beat somebody up.
Mm. Nothing like
And
it.
yeah, there's absolutely nothing like that nervous feeling you get.
Yes.
You're in the locker room, you're getting taped up,
Yes.
you think about the game, you hear the band outside the locker room, they start playing. You know, your guys in the locker room getting hyped up. You about to go
Mhm.
out there. You know, oh
Yeah.
yeah, they just beat so and so. They're on a 3-game winning streak. You got to beat them to go to the city championship. All of this stuff is playing in your head, right? And then you go out there, and all you're waiting for is just that first big hit to wake you up, right?
To wake you up. That's it. Then
Yeah.
you back to reality.
Then you like, all right, this how hard they hit. All right, this is
Yeah.
nothing. This is gonna be a cakewalk, right? Like,
Yeah. We're gonna have some fun tonight.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
once you get those first couple plays, man, especially on defense, if you can force a turnover, 3 and out,
Yeah.
or you're like, oh, they're about to have a long night. They came out with their best couple plays and they can't move the ball. They're about to have a long game. So it was just a lot of fun. And I think that's why if for anything you just had an outlet to get that all of that, you had a direction, right? You could lift weight, you can compete,
Mhm.
but now you can turn all of those gains in the gym into actual like domination of other people on the football field.
Yes. Yeah. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. All right. You can continue. You can
Okay.
continue.
Yeah, but that was the big thing. But I myself, I mean, maybe I don't know how many more questions you got, but
Yeah.
I do have to wrap. But yeah, I
Okay.
think that was a great outlet for you in that you could get out there and you could show, right? All these
Yeah.
squats turns into a 80-yard run, right? All these lunges
Yep.
turn into me running somebody over. So I think it was a great place to translate your gains.
Yeah. No, definitely. And thank you for that reminder. Yes, we are literally closing out. We should be out of here in no more, hopefully, than 1 second. I think my camera got twisted. So let me fix it. Okay, I think there I am. There I'm at. There I go. Okay, yes, it's getting close to that time, but we're gonna wrap up. But I wanna say this before we wrap up. Okay, I want to say this because I want people to understand me that I came from I came from Liberia trying to figure things out, trying to figure who I was, and seeing Elio because this is what this is about. Seeing Elio playing every position, being that leader, being that team captain, being that example in high school. The teachers were raving about him. It personally gave me idea of what I wanted in life in general. Like, okay, if I want to be in high school, I want to be like this guy because he obviously knows what to do. He obviously has it together. And that was what you gave me, man. And football, it didn't just give me, it wasn't just a sport for me. It was like it gave me direction. So being in football with you, it was like a good tour guide, someone, a mentor, your close brother, close family, but you still was that you could be a brother and still not be effective as a mentor, you know? So you were a person who literally gave me, you know, those tenets that shaped the rest of my just outlook in what I had to do in this life. I'm 44 now and I'm still thriving, moving forward, and I know it's going to get better because I just became a citizen, literally since last year. So it's only going to get better.
Congratulations,
So
man.
yeah, thank you, man. So I just want to again, highlight that and thank you for your time. I know it's getting late over there, and I appreciate love you. Here we like to say appreciate love, because that's what we do. And I want people, my people who follow me, who knows me, who are about the same energy I'm trying to bring, the truth. This is part of the truth, giving you your flowers, to let you know you affected, impacted somebody greatly that could have not been here, but chose to continue. So thank you very much, E, um, for everything you've done. Keep doing it. You have a family. You're doing a great job. Keep taking care of family. Life is hard, as you know. It's not
Hmm.
going to be easy. We're going to keep going, but don't stop going, bro. Life is rough for a lot of us. We currently what's happening right now, and just in general, all over the world, is tough. But I know you're a strong dude. Through football, I know how much you overcome. You can overcome, and you will overcome. And because you keep going, people like me choose to keep going. So just keep going, my man. Thank you for
Mhm.
everything.
Well, appreciate you, man, and great questions, man. A lot of this stuff that you asked me about, I cannot believe I actually remember.
Hmm.
Like, sometimes you think, man, I can't remember that, or man, I can't remember that. But
Mhm.
this conversation brought back a lot of great memories. So I appreciate the opportunity to reminisce with you, man. I'm wishing
Yeah,
you all the success, you, your family, everybody remains in good health.
yeah,
Appreciate, love you as well. And thank you for the opportunity, man. Keep doing your thing.
absolutely. And we're gonna be in touch. I'll be, sending you everything, and we'll be talking soon.
All
All
right.
right. You have
Thank
a
you,
great
sir.
night. Tell the
You
family
too.
I said hello, and we'll talk soon.
Will do.
All
Peace.
right, man. Yes. All right, everyone. That concludes this evening with Palm J here, Truth Reveal campaign, Palm J, Warrior Fitness, as well as Super Citizen. Thank everyone. Eventually, you all will see this when you're able to see it. Um, this individual, I would be remiss to have not brought him up within my trajectory of life because he was very impactful. We have so many other great guests, so many other great impactful people that are coming. So just stay tuned. You will be in the know, and we'll talk to everyone very soon. And as always, I want you to remember, live and let live.